Well, hello and welcome to another one of my thoughts videos. I'll sneak another one in before I leave. Now, for 100 years or so, we've eventually figured out or defined what unicorns look like according to the supposed evidence through the centuries, and they look something like this. A package with this messages inside. Whoops, that's the wrong one. It looks exactly like this one, and it's got messages on the inside that these supposed messages are replicated, are copied, and supposedly make us sick. There's no logic in that, unless, well, a poison can make you sick, but can messages make you sick? Well, that is a good question. Now, we also found out that unicorns looked very similar to something our body does make, and the things that our body does make, I'll call them, just so they don't start deleting this video and things, Unicornizomes. They're with a X at the front, as Unicornizomes, and they are real. They are the messaging system, the system between our cells all up and down our body, our intracellular communication system. And now that they are trying to purify or isolate the unicorns, well, they're the same shape and everything as the Unicornizomes. Well, the Unicornizomes, once they found out in the 80s that they actually do exist and the unicorns did not exist, well, they decided, ooh, eureka, we've got a new business where we can possibly be able to manufacture a whole bunch of these things and write our own code onto and stick it in here. And we can make lots of money by writing our own messages to tell our system how to fix itself and do this and do that and the other. Well, by 2005, they had patented the covering. They'd patented all sorts of different techniques, so that by 2010 or so, they were able to start experimenting with these unicornizomes. Well, the others were exosomes, so now these are unicornizomes. We've got unicorns and unicornizomes, because the other one are exosomes, the real thing. Now, the unicornizomes, they have a message in there which tells the cells to make paper. Just make mountains and mountains and mountains of paper, because they figured out the code that's on the unicorn, well, the exosomes, that tells the cell to make paper. So they wrote their own code, and not a very good one, but they got those things and then they injected them into us, these unicornizomes, making us think that the unicornizome was the antidote to the unicorns, when in actual fact it wasn't. There's only one actual real thing, which is our postal system in our body for the cells to communicate with each other. And if you get a fake or imaginary unicorn and make a unicornizome that tells your body to make paper, well, you stuff your whole system up with garbage all over the place, and your system gets so full of paper, your office gets full of paper, and the office collapses, and some offices even die. So that is what they have effectively done by studying. They went off the rails for 100 years, inventing or studying what they thought were unicorns, found they weren't unicorns, so they made a unicornizome. And now, with those 1, 2, 3 things, if you're as logical as I am and apply your logic, they're doomed to failure, and they're doomed to be found out. So there's a few other details, if you're not convinced thus far, that we can continue adding to expand the evidence of unicornizomes and unicorns, as opposed to the real zomes. And I might get into those but over in Colombia. But hopefully this will be enough to convince you, and for you to use this analogy to convince others. It's been a massive massive, massive scam.